All right, so for this one, it says for each labeled point, A, B, C, and D, what we're supposed to do is identify the graph near the point as concave up, concave down, or linear, or having a change of concavity at that point. Okay. Also indicate whether the tangent line at that point should lie above, below, or coincide with the graph on either side of the point, and at which, and then after that, then we have B, and at which of the labeled points is the slope of the tangent line positive, and which point is negative, and then draw tangent lines. All right, so we'll say here A, B, C, and D, and we're supposed to identify the graph near the point as concave up, concave down. So at this point here, we look to be concave up. Now B, I'm going to guess, is probably the inflection point. So that's going to be a change in concavity. Okay. Now C, that is kind of going to be concave down. And D, I think that looks linear. You know, it looks like it goes up and then all of a sudden, boom, straight down. So I'm going to call that linear. Okay. Now indicate whether the tangent line at that point would lie above, below, or coincide with the graph. Okay, so with A, it's going to be below. B, it's going to kind of go through. It's going to kind of go on one side here, and then it's going to kind of go up through the other side there, and it's going to be kind of going through. They don't give us that option, but that's going to be what it is. It's going to be below and then above, unless that's not really the change in concavity, but I'm pretty sure it is. And I wrote the wrong through here. That's yeah, that's good. Now C, it's going to be above because it's going to be just like that. And D, what's that going to be? It's going to coincide. It's going to be right same place. Okay, so that would be how I would do that. Now I'm going to erase that line I sort of drew here because I'm going to actually make a nicer one. And so now what we need to do is draw the tangent line. So we're going to go back to inserting lines. So here maybe, and again, it's not going to be through, it's going to be like right above that point, and it's going to be as horizontal as possible. And again, this is really hard to do. Even when you have a computer, you doing this, it's hard. When you do a ruler, it's not going to be that easy. And so, you know, we're doing about as good as we can with what we have here. So that looks about as good as we can get there. Now this one, that's probably about as good. We need it as close to below under, go right through, and then close above over it. Might be able to go a little closer that way. Maybe that, yeah, we can even maybe even go a little closer that way. But we're not going to coincide with it. We're going to be right above it and right below it. And then D, if I make a line on top of that, you're not going to see it, but it's going to be basically the tangent's going to go straight right right through it. So you're not going to see where that one is. Okay. All right, so here we're supposed to draw the tangent line at each labeled point and then estimate the slope at each labeled point. Now this is one of those things that you're going to get a different value than I get, and somebody else is going to get a different value than they get, because first we're not going to draw the same tangent line. It'll be as close as we can get, but it's not going to be exact, okay? And then we have to find the slope. So that means we have to find where, 2 points on that line, one of them being that point here, the A in this case, the other one is going to be a C, and the other one's going to be a D. And then we have to find the second point. So let's go ahead and first start, trying to figure out where each of these are. So I'm kind of cheating using these horizontal and vertical lines to gather my data. So now if I want to write stuff here. What do we have on this one? It looks like, I don't know, maybe To start inking, thank you. Looks like maybe 2 comma 7 point, that's 7 there, 7.8 maybe, I don't know. Again, it's hard to say what we're going to get. So let's do another one. Now let's stop that so we can move our pin around. I don't know, where do we want to go? Maybe we'll go to 1 and oops, that's not good. And we can go down, and maybe that one is 1 6.5. Again, who knows? Now what we have to do is we have to find the slope. So the slope is going to be change in y over change in x. So we're going to have on this one 7.8 minus 6.5 over 2 minus 1. And if we do that, 7.8 minus 6.5, so it's 1.3. So this is, we're going to say 1.3, and we don't know units. So that's as good as we can get here, okay? And so that's going to be what I call my slope on this actual graph here. What about the next one? If we have to do both those, let's draw us a shape for the tangent line. So let's let's call that close enough. And so we'll again use our points here to kind of get us as close as possible to what the values are. So this one may be, if that is, let's go ahead and get our pin back. Okay, so if we call this 30 here, maybe that's, I don't know, maybe it's actually a little bit further. I don't know, 30, 35, I don't know. That's maybe what we'll do. We'll do 35 comma, and here that's probably 50, so let's call it 60. Who knows? And so then if we go and we get our another point, let's figure out when it's nice here. Let's do an even whole 40, and that one maybe is, I don't know, 110. Who knows? All right. So the slope there would be 110 minus the 60 over 40 minus the 35. And so that's going to be, let's see, 50. Well, it looks like that. Let's make sure. Yeah, it says roughly 10. You know, I don't know. That's, again, everybody's going to have something different as far as what you get for your slope, okay? So now let's do the next one, D. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to get rid of that slope and just move it around until it fits here maybe. So, you know, that's about as close as we're going to get. So where is D at? Now these points are big compared to my lines. So, you know, if we say that's exactly 100, then we can say that's maybe, oh, let's write that down as 100 comma, if that's 550, maybe that's 580. Okay. So then what about, let's do another one. How about 80, 50? How about that? That'll work. call this one 80 comma 550. Okay, and so that slope is going to be 580 minus 550 over 100 minus 80. So that's going to be 30 over 20, or 3 halves, or 1.5. Okay. Okay, so again, this one, who knows? That one looked pretty good. The one I wasn't so sure about, that's the C. I don't know. That's about as good as I get. This one, I think this one, I would call that one better than the C we did as a 10. But again, who knows? So that's going to be what I would get for those two. All right, let's pause there.